What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Collingwood Fremantle game. Let's get into it. So, just before we do jump straight into it, a couple of exciting things. Obviously, you guys know that I've hit 10,000 followers on Instagram. I'm announcing something very exciting. It's about the channel and stuff like that. But in regards to YouTube, still going to be doing these sort of videos, and I'll be doing an unboxing. I've got a bunch of... Actually, let me go grab it for you. I've got a big box from Pop Culture of... this is not sponsored by the way, talk about myself, of 2022 select footy cards that I'll be unboxing on the channel. And I've got the premium cards coming out. I think they get shipped May 24, so there'll be another video about that too. I know you guys like unboxing videos, so this is going to be really cool, and I can't wait to get into it. But for now, let's get into this Collingwood Fremantle game at Optus Stadium on Sunday, late afternoon. On Sunday, Collingwood fly over to Perth for the first time this season, and I think the only time this season, to take on third place Fremantle. Now, Fremantle this season have set the AFL landscape on fire. 7 wins, 2 losses. One of those losses coming last week against the Gold Coast Suns. Look, I was going to do a separate video and kind of analyse what was going on with Fremantle this year. And if you guys want that, if you want a separate video on the opposition, let me know and I will do one. But let's just keep it into this review, into this preview at the moment. But yeah, so Fremantle took on Gold Coast, and Gold Coast just obliterated them. But only on the scoreboard. Like, if you look at the stats and if you watch the game, Fremantle laid nearly 90 tackles for the entire game. Darcy was doing really great in the ruck. They had 60-something inside 50s, but only for a conversion rate of 30%. They went at 4 goals, 9. Would love for them to repeat that against us, but we know that's definitely not going to happen. But 60 inside 50s is just incredible. And 90 odd tackles is just insane, and to then lose the game. Like, look, if you looked at it on paper, you think, how did Fremantle lose this? But the Gold Coast Suns, all credit to them, and we rolled them, so we should technically beat Fremantle. But the Gold Coast Suns, they just dominated in other sort of aspects. They had close to the same amount of tackles. They converted really well going forward. Marbia Chol kicked 4 goals, so Fremantle's defence couldn't keep up. But despite what the Suns did, you still had players like Angus Brayshaw putting up 10 tackles and 20-something disposals. James Ace was still good. Darcy, like I said, Sean Darcy in the ruck, beat Wits in hitouts. Wits and the midfielders of the Gold Coast Suns dominated clearance and stuff like that, but Darcy is still a premier ruckman. They just couldn't convert when they were getting it inside their 50, and that goes as a credit to the Gold Coast Suns. What does that mean for Collingwood, though? It means that we are in for one hell of a fight on Sunday. Seeing a Freo side, who were one of the best in the league at the moment, get towed up by the Gold Coast Suns, kicking 4 goals on their home turf, playing like they did, it just means that they are going to come out hard on Sunday against us in a hostile crowd at Optus Stadium. But it is our home away from home, and we definitely need to make it a home, because these last 2 weeks has been abysmal by our beloved Pies. It's just crazy what we've put up. I thought Richmond, the end of that Richmond game was going to be kind of a line in the sand moment where we will go, alright, we're not going to let sort of teams bully us out of our game plan. We're going to put our foot down. The Doggies were very vulnerable, and as I said previously, we could have knocked them off if we really wanted to. I think we could have matched it even with Pendlebury out. We just didn't stand up. We just didn't stand up when we needed to, and I think the heat comes back onto our senior players. Steele Sidebottom, he has had a couple of poor weeks. Taylor Adams, a lot of grunt, but he needs to click into a little bit more action. Thankfully, Jack Crisp is there. Obviously, we lost Pendlebury going into that game, so that doesn't help our backline. But Pendles is 36. We can't rely on him to win us games or be there forever, because unfortunately, he's not going to be there forever. And these other guys have to step up, and these young kids have to step up. The Doggies game, like I said in my preview, it was insipid. It was a pathetic performance, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat that because I don't want to. It was just absolutely shithouse. It was crap. But with the loss, there comes a lot of learning as well. And I always say this: we are 9 games into a new game plan. We are half a year into a new coaching system and stuff like that. we're four wins and a bunch of losses. But we weren't expected to be this high up. You know, we won 6 matches for the whole season last year. All we can do is just go up there and give Fremantle hell. We will make a raft of changes, I believe. I hope Jordan Raffield can come in because we are missing a defensive unit down back now that Jack Madgen has done his shoulder and probably won't be out for a couple of months. Jamie Elliott might come back in to help our forward line. Jack Ginnivan might come back in as well because when we were getting it up there, we weren't, we missed that spark, you know, that Ginnivan crumbing spark, that Jamie Elliott leading, the only guy that wants to lead. Brody Mychek can't do it all on his own. You know, does Aiden Beck come out for Mason Cox? I think so. I honestly think so. Look, Darcy Cameron has been doing well in the ruck, given the competition that he's gone up against. Fremantle is just, Western Bulldogs, their midfield just sharked pretty much all of Darcy Cameron's hit-outs. And look, in fairness, Darcy Cameron wasn't hitting him out to where we needed them to go, and our midfielders just weren't on their toes, and they smashed us in clearances. Clearances is going to be a big factor against Fremantle. This Fremantle midfield machine, it just keeps on going. Like I said, you know, Angus Brayshaw, James Age, I don't think Nat Fyfe will come back. There was a bit of rumours that he would come back against us because everyone comes back against us. I don't think that will happen. But, you know, their midfield will get on top of us, especially if we're not switched on in the middle. We can see how much of a detriment it is playing without Brodie Grundy or kind of a big ruckman. Like, as much as I do like Darcy Cameron, I don't think he can go the ruck like Brodie Grundy can. You know, this game can go one of two ways, and it depends what Collingwood we see come out against Fremantle on Sunday. Do we see a Collingwood that for the first six or so weeks were just fun, exciting, they wanted to take the game on, despite who they had on the park, they just really wanted to just bang, go in the middle, take the game on, nice, quick football? Or do we see the Collingwood of the last 2 weeks where we just looked like we didn't want to be there? We turned up in the last quarter against Richmond. We barely turned up against the Western Bulldogs when we let them kick 6 goals in the first quarter. There's not a lot of times you're going to win a game where you let the opposition kick 6 goals in a row, especially to start the game off, and you're just chasing your tail going up there. I think Pendlebury back, hopefully Elliott back, Ginnivan back. I think Mason Cox might come back in as well. A little bit more experienced heads. I'm not saying that we're going to beat Fremantle, but I think we can give them a run for their money. But like I said, Fremantle are going to come out firing. They're going to be a big side, especially at Optus Stadium, because they've got a point to prove now. The Suns made a mockery of them, and now they've got a point to prove. And of course, the point to prove is against us. There's no way they're kicking 4 goals 9 again. They're going to kick straight. They're going to kick like 14-2. We're going to have to be on our game. But it's going to be hard. It is going to be really hard. But I'm excited. Look, I am jealous of all the teams that are going well at the moment, you know. You want to see your team playing good football and winning games. We're playing good football at times, at patches. We just got to do it for 4 quarters. We've got to put that Western Bulldogs game behind us, and we just got to move forward. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think we're going to win? How do you think we can win if we're going to win? Or do you see this being we're just getting blown out of Optus Stadium and going back home from Perth with our head behind with our head in between our legs? Is that what it is? Tail in between your legs? Whatever that saying is. Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, Tay family, Tay friends, Tay pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.